so it's on mute right now.
All right, welcome to our first talk show, live talk show. This is TK Sports. So this is Tanner. I'm
What's up,
Kenny.
guys?
We go by TK Sports. This is a new channel. We're really excited about this channel because we're very we love sports and everything that goes around sports and everything. But today we're going to be talking about college football, um, basically about our expectations for the year, week 0 and week 1 of college football.
Yeah, so with week 0, we had Miami and Florida playing as a big defensive game. Um, either team could have won it. It ended up being Florida that pulls it off.
There was a lot of turnovers especially from, well, Miami kept fumbling the ball, but they kept recovering it. But Florida threw a few picks that Miami didn't capitalize on.
Yeah.
And didn't score. They missed a field goal or something.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it was just a defensive battle, kind of a ugly game to watch, but
a little bit.
And then the next game was Arizona versus Hawaii. That was a totally different game.
Yeah, very high scoring, and it came down to the last play. Arizona's quarterback held it, ran 30 yards, and came short just by a yard or two of scoring to get the win. Man,
it was crazy though, because
both games exciting.
No defense. I think Arizona is going to struggle this year again because of how they played. But you never know. Well, Hawaii might be better than we think. And then the next week was week 1. Of course,
last week. It's still happening.
And you want to talk about Thursday?
Yeah, I mean, so some of the big teams, playing. Obviously, Clemson, rated number 1, the preseason. They beat Georgia Tech pretty handily. Alabama today beat Duke. But yeah, one of the highlights for us was on Thursday night when BYU played Utah, and we're fans of BYU, and didn't turn out the way we wanted it to. But,
no.
Right?
From the start, though, we thought the offense was clicking. They were doing stuff. But they were never consistent with plays. They didn't run the ball very much, which we think that they should have run the ball more than 7 times.
Well, it was more than 7.
It was more than 7, but they gave their starter running back the ball only 7 times.
Yeah, and he averaged 6.4 yards per carry. I mean, so it's basically.
You got to give him the ball more.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, so I mean, a couple of things with that game. Obviously, there were the big turnovers. Walk us through what happened there and what we can learn from it.
Well, at the beginning, it was the second time that BYU scored a field goal. They brought in their backup quarterback to do a play on 3rd down and 3, and they were moving the ball down the field. Bad snap. He got tackled for 12 yards. I mean, negative 12 yards. Didn't throw the ball away, and it was just they ended up kicking a field goal to make it 9-6, and too many. There were 2 pick sixes, and a bad handoff for a fumble.
Yeah. Did you know in this rivalry in the last 10 years, Utah's averaging 1 pick 6 per game, and BYU has had 0. That's been the difference. A lot of flukes, a lot of skill plays. You got to give Utah credit in a lot of them.
Utah's defense, they're just always in BYU's offense's head.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So some interesting points about this game is actually in the first half, BYU was losing 9-6, but they were doing better in the stats except for turnovers. Their time of possession was better, and they had more yards. But then that changed as soon as Utah got the ball in the 3rd quarter of that first drive.
They basically had the ball 12 minutes of that 3rd quarter.
Yeah, man. Crazy.
The second Utah's second drive, though, we had them 3rd and 28, like midfield, and one of the cornerbacks just. I don't know what he did.
It was like a face mask
basically
after the play.
After the play.
Basically.
Like he was like pushing him out. He was pushing him out of bounds, and they both ran out of bounds together. And there's a penalty because they were like still locking arms or something. I don't know what happened, but they got a first down on 3rd and 28 just from that.
Yeah, man. Okay, so that brings me up to a stat that's very interesting. Utah was 3 for 12 on 3rd downs. BYU was 6 for 12. However, I don't know if they factor in the penalties with that 3 for 12. They might have had more because of the penalties. But if you're saying they only had 1 3rd down conversion on their own, like without us screwing it up for ourselves. Man, like there are some good takeaways for BYU. Now, here's the issue I have with the coaching, and we were talking about this earlier, is BYU is running a 3-4 most of the game. That's not the issue. The issue was that the linebackers were like so far back. They were trying to prevent big plays. And that's not what you do when you're against a team that's going to run like Utah. We knew they were going to run the ball basically every time. And I guess we just didn't want to allow those big, yard plays. But then Utah holds the ball for, super long, like almost the whole second half. And so I'm not saying coaches should be fired or whatever, but that's I don't.
There's
I don't
a
know.
lot of coaching that went on, bad coaching that went into that game.
Yeah, I don't have great trust
But-
in in-game decisions with this coaching. I think also in the off season that there's some things that they can clean up with how they coach his team. But in games like at Boise State, I was at the game. We do a fake punt, 4th and 19. It's like you wouldn't even really do that in a Madden game, like or an NCAA football video game. Like
We got a, we
I
got
don't know
a,
what this coach is thinking, but
we got
whatever.
a Minnesotanian here.
I'm not a coach. Hey
From
man,
Wavy.
hey, are you into football at all? I
Yes,
think
she is. She likes football.
Do you like Minnesota Golden Gophers? I actually think
She's a Vikings fan.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I actually think in college football, I think Minnesota's going to win their division. See what happens.
You think they're gonna beat Nebraska, huh?
Yeah, they kind of struggled in their opening.
SG
Actually, both those teams
SG1
did,
Sports has Nebraska going to the championship game.
but in the college football tournament game.
No.
Big
The
Ten.
Big Ten championship game.
Well, they'd be my second pick. I have both teams ranked. I have Nebraska ranked, but I have Minnesota just tied higher.
Yeah. So interesting enough, though, like after watching that BYU game, I was thinking we're definitely going 0-4 the first 4 games.
Oh man, I don't know, man.
I started thinking that, but then Tennessee loses
what happened
to
today? Yeah.
Tennessee loses to an FCS team.
No, I don't think.
No,
I think they're in FBS.
but
they're in the Sun. They're in the
Georgia,
Sun Belt.
yeah, Georgia State FBS, but they're not that.
They're in the Sun Belt.
They only won 2 games last year,
Yeah.
and they lose.
So now it's like, okay, BYU, like, this is really a game that you can't lose now. I mean, who knows? Obviously, you have to say, hey, how good was Georgia State? I don't know. But Tennessee also can't afford to lose 2 out-of-conference games against non-Power 5 teams.
And they're not
Like,
gonna.
They're not going to want to lose again.
Yep.
They're
definitely gonna lose to Alabama and Georgia. And
Yeah,
maybe Florida.
so that kind of raised the expectations for BYU of needing to win this game. I think they will get one of the next 3. I came into this season thinking that they would start 1-3. I thought they would win the Utah game and lose the next 3.
You really thought that?
That didn't happen. I did because 10 years, 10-year streak.
It's bound to
in a
happen
decade.
eventually, right?
And I really thought that this is the time, to break the curse, starting off the season at home.
Yeah.
BYU traditionally starts out well.
First game.
When the first game is at home.
Other than the coaching, I think they actually did pretty okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and we talked about how Wilson did force a couple throws
and the turnovers.
Um,
Other than that, I think, they just need to do better with
game management, maybe running the ball more, trying to establish
the offensive play calling wasn't exactly great, but
yeah.
what do you think about Boise beating Florida State today?
Hey, so yeah, BYU was my first team, Boise State's my second team, and wow, saying that they came from behind to win, that's pretty impressive. I did not think that they would win this game, coming in. So
The way they played, though, we don't really know how good other teams are yet, but it's just the first week of this college football. But the way they did play, they looked good on offense, and I'm a little nervous for when BYU plays them.
yeah, I
Because
mean,
freshman quarterback
yeah.
threw 400 yards against a Florida State defense.
Like, yeah, I mean, even if FSU isn't that good, like, still, you're playing against solid recruits at least. So That's a big deal.
Playing against talent, yeah.
Yeah, and so even though like Boise State was losing, I feel like that they were driving the ball pretty well like in that first half. Like the score didn't really show it, but like they were moving the ball pretty well, and they were able to pull off that win. Pretty exciting stuff. So some other games going on today. Virginia at Pitt.
The last time I saw, Virginia was winning 16-14. I don't know what the score is now, but
Yeah,
Oregon and Auburn were playing.
right. I could
And
see
it was like a 21-13 game. From last time we saw.
It's 21-20. Oregon has a 1-point lead, and there's 31 seconds to go.
As a
So,
game,
Yeah. Auburn has the ball, though, so.
Auburn has the. Oh my gosh,
Woo!
they could probably win it.
Man.
But you said it was 21-20. They
Yeah.
probably win it 23-21 or something.
Yeah.
To make a field goal.
Yeah, I
But-
foresee Oregon playing Utah in the Pac-12 championship game. I think Oregon will win that. We talked about Virginia. I think they're going to play Clemson in the ACC championship game. Don't think Virginia has much of a chance there. SEC, Georgia going up against Bama. I actually think Georgia, this is their year, I think, to win it all. But some other conferences, the Big 12, I actually think Oklahoma will have a better overall record, but I think Texas later in the year is going to be a little bit better. I think they're going to edge Oklahoma in that Big 12 championship game.
Yep.
So, Big 10, Minnesota playing against Michigan. I think Michigan will win, and Michigan will get into the playoffs. So, that's that. It's about the whole week's worth.
There's Notre Dame and Louisville on Monday.
That's true. And actually, tomorrow Oklahoma hosts Houston. So, still some games left, but man, pretty exciting.
A lot of teams that are expected to win their first game won their first game.
Yeah, it's true. Except for
Like-
Tennessee,
Like Alabama, and
yeah, they won
Clemson
42-3. Yeah,
so.
impressive. Well, if you guys have no further questions about this week, then we will see you all later.
We'll give it 30 seconds, I guess.
Yeah, give it 30 seconds.
But you see our flag in the back,
BYU.
Cougars.
Yeah, man, our team got embarrassed this year, but we're not afraid to speak out. Oh man, any fellow Cougar fans watching? Go Cougs! I think
And
I
go-
picked
go
BYU going
Broncos,
8-4 this
right?
season.
8-4.
Yeah, I
I
picked.
predicted them to go 8-4 as well, hoping for 9-3. But
Yeah, it's gonna be very very tough now. But
all right, thanks for
Okay.
watching. This is Tanner and Kenny, TK Sports.
Peace. See ya.